Wally Wiley is my name, or Wallace Wiley. I was born in Vancouver, Washington, till I was about 9 years old. And my dad really felt a call in his life to go into missions. And at that point, we moved to Texas and then down into Mexico. Being able to see how the Mexican kids my age grew up and loving those kids at that point really prepared me, I think, to look at how we can help bring them to a place and give them what some of the benefits that we experience. I came out in 1977 with Mission Aviation Fellowship, and I came out as a builder or a carpenter doing various projects in Centani and interior, both in construction and also airstrip building. I was asked to be involved in government relationships and building those. And so that all came together in a way that then I was helping the program manager at the time to take on the government relationship skills and the invitations that he got for there.
My dad always had wonderful ideas about how to be involved in empowerment and education and opening opportunities for the future of Papua.
It became obvious that there was a problem-solving skill, a lack of problem-solving skills, a lack of associative thinking, a lack of judgment skills, of being able to make judgments, which are all key areas for becoming a pilot mechanic in Papua. As we thought about that, the experts in education said that we should start at a young age. And during that time, too, we saw that it wasn't just pilot mechanics, but it was a need for leadership skills in all areas of life.
In 1997, there was a severe drought here in Papua, and it brought a lot of attention from other parts of Indonesia and other parts of the world. And at the time, my dad was facilitating a lot of the outreach and help for the people who were in areas that really needed help. Two men, Johannes Santoro and James Riadi, were people bringing relief supplies, and my dad was talking with them, and they said, hey, what are the greatest needs here in Papua? My dad shared that aside from the gospel, the greatest need that he saw was education. He came to find out that Johannes Santoro and James Riadi were starting a system of schools in Jakarta and were uniquely positioned to be able to help begin a school system here in Papua.
We stepped out to start a school, but it took a long time for everything to get formulated. We had no funding or anything like that. And then we got funding from an uncle of Annika Lons. She felt the Lord moving her to help us realize our vision of starting a school. And also Daryl and Sue, who at the time were working with Pelita Harapan in Jakarta, really felt the call to help us start this school too. We brought in 8 kids from Pogapa and had a house with a room in the back that we could do the school in. And as it happened to be, Pelita Harapan had just started the Teachers College and were able to provide us teachers at that time. Without that, I don't know where we would have gotten the good quality teachers that we have today.
Kesempatan untuk anak-anak mendapat pendidikan betul-betul adalah satu visi dari Tuhan, sehingga anak-anak mereka bisa dihadirkan di Sekolah Papua Harapan dan dibentuk baik karakternya maupun pendidikannya secara intelektual.
It was hard decision that I made, but I can see now that it's worth it because I can get good education and I can go back there, help my family and also other people.
Sekolah Papua Harapan focuses on shaping the character, attitudes, skills, and habits of students.
Nilai-nilai inti ini memang akan mempengaruhi pendidikan yang diberikan di Sekolah Papua Harapan. Jadi murid-murid bukan hanya mendapatkan ilmu pengetahuan di sekolah ini, bukan hanya mengalami kegiatan belajar yang merangsang kreativitas berpikir mereka, tetapi murid-murid juga mendapatkan pemuritan.
They can instead focus on how does God want to use me to bring about restoration, healing, growth in Papua and around the world for God's glory.
Today, now we've grown from those 8 kids to 350 kids from various places throughout the interior and also here from the coast.
Sekarang kami sudah punya kelas yang lengkap dari TK sampai SMA. Lalu setiap tahun kami juga berusaha terus meningkatkan kualitas pendidikan dan pemuritan yang ada di SPH.
In the story of SPH, we so often don't know exactly what's next. We just see maybe one step ahead. And as we have prepared students all the way through high school, and last year had our first graduating high school class, we began to see the need to say, okay, how do we build a bridge into their future? What's next? And right at that time, the Papuan government reached out to Patwali and said, would you be willing to consider starting a language institute that would prepare Papuan students to go on to further education overseas? Right when our students were at that place, needing that next step. And so just 2 years ago, Papua Hope Language Institute was born.
Just at the right time, we were able to get our program, Papua Hope Language Institute, off the ground to help those students get prepared in language and culture and successfully get them to the U.S. for study.
Through classes and programs such as discipleship, Christian characters, and identity, we hope that we create servant leaders that after they return from the U.S., they have the tools and the skills to be the leader here in Papua.
Dan saya percaya bahwa anak-anak ini dididik di sekolah ini, dan masa depan mereka untuk 10 atau 20 tahun ke depan, mereka akan buat perubahan. Dan perubahan itu sangat radikal dengan landasan itu kasih. Karena dengan kasih mereka akan melihat bahwa bukan hanya untuk mereka atau keluarga mereka atau kelompok atau komunitas mereka, tapi mereka hadir untuk menjadi pemimpin bagi semua orang di atas negeri ini.
And as it always has been, God provided an avenue for us to bring both Papua Harapan and Papua Hope School together, the Papua Hope Schools now that we hope to have on one campus, and basically have the same goal for both in creating and developing Christian leaders for the future of Papua.
We've seen time and time again how the Lord has provided exactly what we've needed at just the right times, including campus, including resources, teachers, a bridge into further education. And now as we send our first students on to college and we await their return to step into positions of leadership, we can't wait to see how God provides at just the right time, in just the right way, to use His people for His glory.
Time and time again, we have seen God's provision come through at the right time and the right way, because we believe it's God's vision to see Papuan youth become Papua's future leaders, and so He constantly opens the door for us.
I wait for the day when we will have these Papuan men and women coming back using the education that they have gotten to be godly leaders for this province, managing the resources that God has given them for His kingdom, and it can become a shining light to the world, and that is very exciting to us.